Hello. Okay, so I thought it's hot in here. I thought I really needed to touch on this topic as soon as possible. So I'm doing this on the way to the gym. And it all comes down, one major thing that I see a lot of people drive them insane, whether it's a client or someone inquiring about my services, and that's them not feeling like they have control of their life, or feeling like their life is pretty much being dictated by those around them, or they're in really shitty relationships and they could be doing everything they can to try to improve their lives, but their environment is not serving them and not conducive to them. And you can think of 1,000,001 different reasons and excuses for why you can't do something, but at the end of the day, it's in your control. You control the way you react to things, and you control your perception of certain things. Now, I watched my amazing coach linked me to this summary of, I'm the type of person where if you give me something, this is why I hated uni as well, because as soon as you give me a topic and it interests me, I would research the fuck out of it and go into depths to dig into that stuff, and then it'll lead to me opening up more and more freaking galaxies on that certain topic, which will lead to more galaxies. But anyway, he linked me to this video. If I find it, if you're interested, I will send the link to you, so put a comment down below. But it was pretty much talking about your perception of stress and how your perception of stress can change the way it affects you. They did a study, I went into dig deeper into it, and there was a study where they said, are you stressed out today? Are you going to be stressed out about tomorrow? And kind of tried to figure out the personality types and their perception of stress and how stress affects them. And those that felt positive about the stress and felt like it actually enhanced their lives, their quality of life indicators and all the other markers that they tested were positive and beneficial to them. But those that saw their stress in a negative light, or expected, they didn't, this is why now, after a couple of conversations I had yesterday, now I'm going to start posting into the group and asking people what they're grateful about and trying to find out what they're to focus on the positives, because the more you focus on positive shit happens. I know that the more that I focused on, I've grown so much over the last year, which is why I feel like everything finally has, I stressed myself out so much last month, and I will openly talk about it, because a lot of the times we need to go through growing pains. Life is life. You go through growing pains, and they prepare you for what's to come. They prepare you for what's ahead and all of the most amazing things. You need to go through growing pains to reap the rewards in the end. Now, I went through all of that in January to be able to set myself up for the rest of this year, so that I can put myself first, and I'm okay with being selfish about things, because I know that no matter what I do, I have the tools, I have the requirements, I have everything I need to be able to still give my clients 100%. If I feel like they're struggling, I have my link set up for them to book a call with me. Unless they need one immediately, then I'll call them on the way home from my work, or after one of the calls I have scheduled that day, and be like, are you free at this time? I'll call you. Or if I have to, I'll call them before I go to sleep, because I know that having that chat with them is just going to make everything that much better for them. So at least I know that when I want my me time, I can have my me time. Yesterday, Fridays are my days where I've picked up on these trends, because I'm aware of things, and on Fridays I always find how freaking flat I am no matter what I do. On Thursdays, they're my off days. Like, I don't train, I don't do anything, but I use my brain a lot to try and get shit done, and I try and catch up on things, and that exhausts me. So on Fridays after my deadlifts, I need time to myself, and I've picked up on the trend, and it's okay to need that, because on weekends I'm still doing a lot of work and catching up on things, because I know that's when I get more time to do back scene work behind the stages of my business, because my clients are busy living their lives, and I get them to live their lives. I want them to have a self-care day. I want them to have family day. I want them to come up with a routine that sets them up for a successful week ahead, because life is meant to be lived, and health and fitness are meant to enhance your life. You're not meant to live your life in the gym, and you're not meant to live your life freaking worrying about every single little thing. The way that I target food, for example, is diet is like a video game, depending on what you want with me and what you want with food and anything else. I'm willing to help you out and hold your hand the whole way if that's what you want. But if you're someone that wants more freedom around it, to be able to swap things here and there, then I treat it like a Mario game. You come to me, you can't be flexible. You need to stick to things. You need to know nutritional values of things. You need to know what portion sizes are like, what hunger is like. You need to know all of that stuff, and it takes a while of following a plan to be able to get into that, to be able to know what it's like. It will take a couple of months of following a plan to a T, and then after that, one thing I encourage my girls to do is to go and eat out, to send me freaking restaurant menus, and to ask me about the best choices on there. I want them to do that. I want them to send me screenshots of their meal plans with the menus, so I can actually mix and match things, and then they get good at it. I had someone message me yesterday. She sent me a menu of something, and she's like, I was thinking getting this for the entree, getting this for lunch, and skipping these meals. And I'm like, you know what? That's the perfect option. Get that, but you're only skipping one meal, not two, because you haven't eaten out in so long, and your body has come so far, and all you're getting in the gym are new PBs, new volume maxes. Your volume's going up like crazy, because I calculate that stuff on my back end. So that's what she's able to do. And then I had someone else who only just sent me a menu for the third time. So I'm like, okay, so these are your two options. It's up to you what you want to pick. If you pick this option, this is what you have to skip. And if you pick this option, this is what you have to skip. And she chose the first one where she had to skip two different things, versus the other option where she could skip one thing because it was much easier. It's up to you. And then after that, I get to asking them questions why do you think I did this? Why do you think I did that? I get them to ask me more questions so they can get used to it. So I treat it like a Mario game, and that's how you should treat other things. Don't overcomplicate shit. And this is where this whole talk is going to now, which is at minute 8, which is what I'm going to put in. Wait, 8.5. That feels so weird when I say half and it's only 30, not 50. Anyway, morning routines. Start at a basic level. There's structure is hard. The way that you perceive things, as I was going on about the whole stress thing, you can't say that it's easier said than done. There is no such thing. You're making it easier said than done, because you're looking at it like it's a huge complex puzzle, because you're comparing yourself or comparing where you're at to where someone else is at. It took me ages to be able to build up to a morning routine that I'm at now, where I will wake up. I'm actually I don't actually get guilt anymore if I don't answer all my messages or emails in the morning anymore. I don't get guilt if I have messenger bubbles waiting, because I've made it known that I am not fully available until 12 o'clock. I will answer things if I need to answer them, but if I know they're not urgent and I can give them a much better response and presence of myself later on, then I will do that. I put my mornings towards my sanity, because I need that for the rest of the day, because for the rest of the day I'm psychologically outputting everything to my clients. I'm researching, I'm studying, I'm doing all of that stuff. So that is my extensive morning routine. And then now I'm on my way to the gym, which is like, I don't feel sane and I don't feel like I'm in a place to give until I've trained, because the gym just completes me. It releases all the happy hormones. Like, I've realized that I'm my happiest self after I've worked out, even after a shit workout, because I go on the treadmill and I use that as my reflective time. And usually I use this drive to the gym as my reflective time too, but this chat is way too important, because morning routines don't have to be so extensive. It could be as simple as lying in bed for 5 minutes, staring at the ceiling, listing 5 things you are grateful for. 3 things even. Start at 3 and then work your way to 5. Just think of those 3 things that you are grateful for and focus on them. And as soon as you step out of that bed, focus on those 3 things you're grateful for. Like, as soon as you get out of the room, things might be a mess. Like, your kids might be demanding you. You have to get them ready for school. You have to get their breakfasts ready. You have to get them dressed up. You have to take them to school. You have to deal with tantrums. But one thing that I have realized, like, I don't have mini-me's. I don't have kids of my own. I feel like I'm a mother to every single one of my clients, but it's a different story. Like, one thing that I've been able to give advice on that has actually helped all of the clients that I've spoken to, even though I don't have kids of my own, is that one thing I've realized this just from having my dog, and that's our kids mold themselves to us. And if I think back to whenever I was like younger and stuff, and I was around my parents, like, I don't know, like, I've adopted a lot of their habits, and that's what kids do. They mold themselves pretty much to us. Like, we are their inspiration. Like, my dog knows exactly when I'm leaving for the gym, for example. Like, they adopt themselves to our nature. So in putting ourselves first and showing them, like, I'll give you an example. My parents have been married since 1972, I'm pretty sure. So that's 50 something years marriage, I don't know, something like that. I can't do math in my head right now, but or is it 40? I don't know, but they've been married for ages, and I've kind of put my relationship standards kind of to theirs. Like, they still do date nights, they do all of that stuff, and they've showed me what love is, pretty much. And because of that, I don't, like, the only thing I've said love to is my dog, and I love my dog to bits. So stuff like that, I don't know how that can, like, help you in that, but what I'm trying to say is, if you put yourself first and show them that you chase everything you're after, you show them how, like, just by looking after you and being the best version of you, you are showing them how they need to respect themselves, how they need to live their lives. So by being the best version of you, by ensuring that you get adequate sleep, like, there was someone else on the group that wasn't getting adequate sleep, and whenever she wasn't getting adequate sleep or struggling with her energy throughout the day, she found she was snapping a lot at her kids. So by making sure that you do put yourself first and that you are in your peak state, you're enabling yourself to be the best parent you can be. So it isn't selfish putting yourself first. You just need to start slow, start small, make it manageable. Break it down into the most manageable steps that you can do, so that you cannot say that something is impossible. 5 minutes is all you need for a morning routine. Fuck, if 5 minutes is too much, make it 2. Just put your phone on for 2 freaking minutes and just lie there and think of 2 things you're grateful for. Mine started off with sitting with my coffee, and I don't know how long it took because my coffee was freaking hot because it was winter, and however long it took for me to drink that was my morning routine, and then it just evolved. So start small, and like the power of structure, the power of having the wheel in your hand is beyond measure. So I hope that helps. What the fuck is on his head? And have a really good weekend.